Good evening, folks. Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. I just want to come back on and do the last part of the podcast I just did. I didn't get any sound. Let me know if you don't get any sound. I want to talk quickly about what CSEA President Alberto Velazquez said. It's very important. I think it's very important.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Freddie wins.
Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Really quick, coming back on just to redo the last part of the podcast. The audio wasn't playing for whatever reason. So if you don't hear the audio, please let me know. I want to let you folks hear it. I think it's important. I think it's important to hear, and this is the reason why. It's not my issue with Alberto Velazquez necessarily, although he just made it easy, right? He it's the reason why I found this video. But it's a video of Alberto Velazquez. He's the CSEA president. This was back in 2019. He wasn't the president at the time. He was working at Enrico Fermi, and he was having some issues with the principal there. And they transferred him over to PS School 23. There he found some asbestos in his office, and he reported this asbestos, and he also reported some other things that were going on over at Enrico Fermi with the principal, and what was happening there with some personal things. Bochinche. Basically, he was a bonchinchero, like he was calling me at the Puerto Rican Day parade. But the reason why I want to show it is because of what he was saying here. He basically was saying that as a result of him making this public, making the issues that he saw, or filing complaints about the issues that he saw, specifically with asbestos, but also with the bullying and harassment that he was going through over Enrico Fermi, he felt that then they started to create a paper trail. So they started to do things to target him for write-ups, leaving him out of meetings, not notifying him of safety drills that they were having, where he would be responsible for going through the building during those drills to assure that everyone was out. But he was not alerted, and then he was getting written up. And he says that they were basically looking to fire him. And so I want to play that because this is the CSEA president, Alberto Velazquez. And, this is important for people that have had to deal with this, right? And I spoke about this with my wife very recently, and I'll talk more about that down the road, in detail, some years back. And I'll even talk about how, who was able to rectify things, right? And, and so he obviously went through the same thing. And so it's very real. This is just about validation for what, people go through. My wife has gone through, other people who claim to have had this happen to them, right? This is validation, I believe. And so it's important that I put it out there because it's, it protects people. And a lot of people have thanked me for doing the podcast. A lot of people that work for the city, whether in person, whether email or on social media, thank me for putting out some of the information because it's, protected them and helped them, and I'm here for the people, not looking to bash anybody. I'm simply looking to make people aware of things so we can correct them and move in a better direction. That's my goal. So if you can't hear the video, please just let me know. And this is Yonkers' voice.
Alberto Velazquez. Finally, I see that Mr. John Carr
has been bullying me and harassing me, and him and Quesada, they're trying to fire me. They're trying to put paperwork. Trying to build information on me, and it is not right. It is not fair. I've been here 21 years working in the Board of Education. I have a good record, and now they're trying, because I put paperwork to the state. I complain about the principal, which is married, and the stuff that he was doing at Fermi. I put in paper all the stuff that he was violating, which all kids are getting hurt and everything. And he did as a drill. He evacuated the whole building, left me and my staff in the building. We could have been killed. We could have been shot if it was if it was a real drill, because he refused to talk to me because he was unprofessional. He didn't want to follow the work procedure.
So he says he's being bullied. If it was a real drill, he could have been killed. It was a real drill. It wasn't just a real emergency. And so, he's saying that he's being bullied, he's being harassed, things that other people have complained about, right? So, this is a CSEA president. And people who are part of CSEA have actually complained about this. And this man hasn't stepped up for them. He hasn't gone to bat for them. But he wanted people to go to bat for him at this point in time when he was going through it. He had the Yonkers voice, a good friend of his, a great buddy of his, help him out by putting it on the Yonkers voice. This is what he wanted to do, right? To get attention, put it out there. But I don't discount or discredit what he's saying about, being targeted for retaliation, bullying, being harassed, and ultimately being written up to create a paper trail to get him fired, right? If you mess with certain people here, your supervisors, certain people, have relationships, this is what they do if they don't like you, this is what happens. And so again, I play this just to validate what many people here in the city, many people who have reached out to me who have had this issue, validates what they said. Because I have received emails from former staff members, and I'm not trying to bash the school, not trying to bash anyone. This is just about putting their story out there. They reached out to me for a reason and making just aware and just putting it out there. Make people think twice about what you do, right? This is not cool. It's not fair to people to have to deal with this. And, people should know what it's, like to go to work in a hostile work environment, right? It's not cool. So I've had people, Black teachers, substitutes, other staff members who are no longer there, but they were female Black, saying that they felt that there was some racism that they had to deal with. And so here is the CSEA president, Alberto Velazquez, talking about the same thing, talking about racism and the fact that he felt that, he was being targeted also because he's Puerto Rican, right? And the principal was Italian. So
First, let's talk about the alleged asbestos in the public schools. Here at School 23, we heard from some of the blogs that you said that there was asbestos in the school. Is that true?
I have not spoke to nobody in public yet about asbestos. I have proved that there is asbestos here because my concern when I came in this building was to move my office, which CSEA knows about it, and they told me they were going to move my office. And since they put me in this building before the head custodian here Curtis was going to be moved.
So he says that CSEA knew about it, and they said they were going to move his office because of the asbestos. But I'm wondering if, they had moved him like he wanted to, would he ever said anything about it, right? Because some people are saying that the reason why he's upset and was exposing this is because, one, he was moved from Enrico Fermi. He didn't want to have, be moved, transferred to another building. But that happens, you get transferred. My wife's been transferred, several times now. And every year she's been transferred. And, now she's doing 2 schools in 1 year, but she loves it. She's actually really happy with it. And so he was upset about that. He was upset about the office that he was given. And that's why he's saying something about it. That's why, rather than saying something to, those who are supposed to take care of it, like, the higher ups, Board of Education, so they can go ahead and remedy the problem, he went public. He started filing complaints and all that and going above people's heads, right? Because he was angry about being moved. So he's not an innocent guy, and I want to be fair to the other people and the schools, because I heard that he also was doing some funny business up in Enrico Fermi with some of the other staff as well. So, you're a bonchinchero too, and I don't like that, right? I'm real, I don't go around saying something and then being something else. You're a bonchinchero too, right? You were doing it before me, right? And the only reason you're doing it is because you're mad because you got transferred. People were attacking me. That's why I shot back. But you were mad because you were transferred. You were mad because, you didn't get a different office. But I believe that you did get targeted, because once you start talking about people, they're going to target you. And they're going to look to try to set you up to be fired. And that's what happened, right? Was it about racism or anything else? No, I think basically that Alberto Velazquez was blowing people's spots, right? And he's no clean guy himself. And so rather than just keep going back and forth between him and this person, they transferred him. Then he didn't like his office. And so now he wants to make a big bonchinchero deal about it. But that's crybaby stuff. Nobody was attacking you or reporting on your extracurricular
I have not
activities.
spoken with anyone about the asbestos.
Yeah,
but
nobody from the news, nobody from the paper yet.
but
Today,
hold on, Alberto. But there is asbestos there, you say.
yes,
For how long? How long ago were you transferred to this school?
I got transferred here in the end of June. I believe it was June 26, June 27, around that area. I was called by my supervisor, which I put paperwork against Mark Camatrano, the principal of Rico Fermi.
Okay, and you came to this school around June 26, around that day.
Yes.
And when
So he got transferred because he filed paperwork or some complaint to the state against the principal of Enrico Fermi. And the complaint was about personal stuff that the guy, I guess, was doing with another staff member, right? Stuff that's none of your business, Alberto. But you made it your business, so he transferred you.
did you found out about the asbestos?
Right away, I find out because they told me they were supposed to have been moved the office because the condition of the office, which the head custodian will see, Curtis Hudson, his name is Curtis Hudson, which notified me and showed me the new office that was supposed to be moved just because of all the asbestos.
Now, when you found out, who did you notify about the asbestos situation? Who did you spoke with?
I spoke to Aldelelo. I have spoke to Chris Franks a lot of times. I even put it on Spudu, which is in writing, that I needed my line run because of the asbestos open all over the basement by the boiler room, right where my office is.
Now, Alberto, before you come to this school,
So that's what he cares about, really. He just cares about his office, right? He's not really caring about the kids and their health and their safety. He's not. He cares about his office and getting what he wants. And that's the only reason why he's making a big stink about it. That's it. It's the only reason. Because now, as the CSEA president, you think he's actually representing his members and fighting hard and doing these kind of interviews to bring truth to light, to bring the fact out that they don't have a contract yet. They're still waiting. The members are upset about this. They want to know, where's the contract, Alberto? He says he's trying to work on a good one. Well, that's a good one, Alberto. They don't believe you. That's why they reach out to me. Don't be upset. Do what you're doing here the way you wanted to. Advocate for yourself and your office, and you were upset because you got transferred, so now you want to try and blow up the Yonkers Public School spot about asbestos, right? Fight the same way for your members. Get their contract, Alberto.
you were in another school, correct?
Yes, I was at Enrico Fermi.
And why did they transfer you to this school?
They transferred me here because of the abuse of power of the principal, Mark Camatrano, which he didn't like me. He was prejudiced against me. He was racist against me because I'm Puerto Rican. He's Italian. There's other people that I would tell you that he was racist. And he didn't like me because of a personal problem, which everybody knows in the board. Why was it? Who he was doing favors for, and who he was sexually abused, not abusing, but he was making sexual comments to the person right in front of me, which he ended up, and I even put in writing, and I called my supervisor about everything that was going on when he did an evacuation without consulting it with me and my staff. And when we find out that the building was being evacuated, I confronted Ms. Vasquez, and I told her, listen, you guys are supposed to report this. I'm supposed to be notified if you guys are going to do an evacuation, because we got to do the procedures. We got to check the building. We have to make sure all the locks, everything is locked, all the kids are out of the building. And he failed to provide me with information, which I notified Aldelelo, and they did not follow through. They did not help me out with that.
Now, Alberto, are you saying that procedures are not being followed? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, procedures are not being followed, especially from the state of New York. From the state of New York, there's supposed to be a safety plan, safety team. There's a lot of stuff that's not being followed. They're supposed to.
So that's Alberto Velazquez. That's the Yonkers voice. You see how he's asking leading questions. That's what that's called, leading questions, so he can get certain things out of you. So are you saying that they're not following protocols? Right? So Yonkers Voice used to, do these type of stuff until now, he got what he wanted, which was attention from the city, and they're paying him for ads. And so now he's all good to go, right? He doesn't say anything. He doesn't report anything. Alberto got what he wanted. He's the CSEA president. He, doesn't have to work, anymore. He's good. He's not advocating for anyone else. He was only advocating for himself. That's all he cared about. So I hope the guy gets it together. I think that the members will most likely vote for somebody new. And by the way, I heard that he only won because with 45 votes or something like that. 1,500 members, most didn't come out to vote. Only 45 who voted for Alberto. That's why he won. So you guys have to come out to vote. I believe that someone else is going to be coming out to challenge Alberto in the next election. And you should strongly consider making sure that you support this guy, because I believe that he will be a true advocate for the people. A true advocate, someone like Freddie Vasquez at Basement Politics is trying to be. There are a lot of people out there that are advocating for the community. Shout out to you guys. And as part of my advocating, I was out on Elm Street earlier today. Some of you may have seen the video, got a lot of views. I walked, I don't know what that path is called that goes over Neppahan over there by Elm, the bridge, just showing a lot of the garbage that was there. A lot of the people that hang out there. I saw beer bottles, boxes of beer, food that was just thrown out there, garbage, furniture, all kinds of stuff, right? Stuff that had been there for a long time, and people were like, wow, that's crazy, that needs to be cleaned up. And it's going to be cleaned up. Shout out to the city. They did reach out to me about it. They said, anything like that, just let them know about it. They'll get it cleaned up right away. So moving forward, anything I see like that, anything that needs to be addressed, they're encouraging me to contact them, reach out to them right away so it can be addressed. And so this is what we're looking to do. What I'm looking to do is to have, some kind of influence for the people so we can get things done, right? It's not about me, it's not about me. It's not about getting what I want. It's about getting things done. And for the most part, a lot of the things that I have gotten done so far has been for the people, right? And so if you have any issues, you have any concerns, if it's something like, things that need to be cleaned up, there's garbage somewhere that has been left there for a long time, abandoned cars, which I was able to do, and I got a lot of stuff going on. So I apologize to certain people. I do. It's just, and I'm trying to get my own self together, right? But if there's anything, just reach out to me on Facebook, email politicwithfred@gmail.com. Message me on Facebook, send me a comment, let me know, say, hey, come check this out. I think this needs to be addressed. This is a safety hazard. This is a health concern, especially when it comes to kids. Let me know. I'll go check it out. I'll reach out to City Hall and we'll get it addressed together. We are a community. We all need to take some responsibility, even if it's just letting people know that it's there and that it needs to be addressed. That's doing a lot. Thank you very much. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. Again, it's not an attack on Alberto, although he's easy to attack and may have made himself look like a fool here. But the point is that there are a lot of people that have gone through situations like that where they have, spoken out or maybe complained about something that was a serious issue that needed to be, addressed and brought to light, and were targeted for that, and I'm just wanting that to stop. People don't want to have to go to work in a hostile work environment. It's very uncomfortable, especially people that love their jobs, love going to work in schools, for them to have to be uncomfortable and, in their work environment sucks. But it goes for every department. I know there's police officers that love their job, that always wanted to be a cop, and they may feel like there's a certain culture among certain groups of people that makes it uncomfortable for them. Maybe it's not what they bargained for, right? Let's change that. Let's make it good for people to go to work, people to feel happy going to work. Let's promote people who deserve it. Let's everybody start at the bottom, and have to work their way up, give people the raises that they deserve and that they've earned, right? And ensure that everyone is doing their part and working hard, so we can have a better Yonkers, right? For the people of Yonkers, man. You know, I'm trying to become one big family. You know, we all like one big family. Take care, folks.
Ready. Ready. Win. Ready. Win.
Shout out to Mayor Mike Spano. Who's definitely being open to the ideas and appreciates what I'm trying to do here in the city of Yonkers. And you know, says, hey Freddie, anything, let's clean it up. He wants to clean up Yonkers. He wants to make it safer. Me too. Everybody wants to make Yonkers better. Let's do it together. You know, it's all. You know what I mean? Let's do it together, man. I appreciate the response I've gotten from City Hall, believe it or not. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And all you haters, don't hate, man. Stop hating, man. Doing this for the people. Y'all doing it for yourself. Don't hate. We'll try one of them Tony Margie sandwiches. Yo, Tony, did you get the Freddy sandwich up? The one, I don't eat bologna. I know you think I'm full of bologna. But if you do use bologna, make sure it's Oscar Mayer. But if you are going to create a sandwich, you know, with my name, Freddie, the Freddie sandwich, you know, I prefer a chicken cutlet, you know, fried chicken cutlet with mozzarella cheese and mayo, lettuce, maybe some tomato, on a warm toasted bun with a bag of Lay's chips, regular, and an apple juice. That should be the Freddie Vasquez meal, Tony. Okay, and an apple juice, because that's what I like to drink, an apple juice. All right? How does that sound, Tony? You can, you know, toast the bread to be a little brown. You know what I mean? How does that sound?
Ready. Win. Fatality.
I'll come in and try it out, and I'll be the judge. All right? And only put, pause, because I don't like it too much meat. Pause, Tony. One slice of the chicken cutlet, all right? Sometimes they stack it too much, right? It's too much. Just one slice, mozzarella cheese, mayo, lettuce, and tomato with a bag of regular Lay's and an apple juice. Freddie Vasquez meal.
Ready. Win. Fatality.
Shout out to Tony Margie and Maui on their grand opening.
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were. I want.
Ready. Win.
I'm looking forward to that sandwich, Tony. Don't be hyping me up thinking you're going to name a sandwich after me and you don't, all right? I'm going to be very disappointed, all right? Even if it has bologna in it, but just any sandwich.
Ready. Win.